Good morning, friends. This morning session is dedicated to class 12. Yeah, as you know, now the pre board exam is completed and it is over. The board exam is maybe a little relaxed, but that is not the time to get relaxed. They should keep on revising the lessons, practicing the question answers, and discussing and interacting with their friends and making a plan of revising all the lessons, because the best way to prepare for board exam is keep on revising the lessons again and again. That's what I want. And in this series, I'm just giving us a big long type questions from the lesson, first lesson, that is the last lesson. The question is that our native language is part of our culture and we are proud of it. How does the presence of village elders in the classroom and M. Hamel's last lesson show their love for French? That has come in All India 2016. Yes, a language of a country is the identity of that nation. It keeps the identity of the people over there intact. That is the reason why M. Hamel in his last lesson describes about the French language. He says that French is the most beautiful of all the languages, and he further emphasizes the need of learning our native language. After the order has come from Berlin that French will not be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine, and now only German will be taught. So the order from Berlin has really shocked him and all the other, I mean, natives of the people who are having their French as the language. So even the elders sitting at the back bench, they are aware of this fact that the order has come from Berlin. He says that French is the most beautiful language in the world. It is the clearest and the most logical of all the languages. The teacher elaborates the beauty of his country's language. He says that during colonial rule, the colonial powers tried to impose their dominance, tries to, force their dominance by imposing their language. But so long as the natives of that, colonial rule were having love for their language, they were having the key to the prison. They were not, in fear of losing their identity. But if they were not keeping their own language fast till the end, they were always in threat of losing their identity. So we can say that if we are having the love and attachment to our language, we are having key to our prison, as long as we are keep holding fast with our own language. So the words of M. Hamel creates a sense of reverence in the hearts of the village elders sitting at the last bench, and they all have come to thank Mr. M. Hamel for his 40 years of long and dedicated service. They want to express their gratitude to M. Hamel for extending his 40 years of service to the people of French origin. So, the words of M. Hamel, that French is the most beautiful language, it is the clearest and the most logical language in the world, actually shows that he is very much attached to his own language and he wants to keep the identity of his people intact, and that is the reason why he elaborates the importance of French language. Second question, that is short question. What a thunderclap these words are to me. Which were the words that really shocked and surprised little French? That has also come in 2010 All India. The announcement made by M. Hamel that the order from Berlin has come not to teach, French language, and now only German will be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine, really came as a thunderclap to French, and he was shocked, and that now he would not be able to learn his own language, and that is because he also loved his mother tongue, though he had neglected his language to a great extent, yet he regretted not having sincere effort to learn French. What changes came over little French after he heard M. Hamel's announcement? After hearing the announcement, French was very sad and regretted not learning his lesson and being deprived of the opportunity to learn his mother tongue. His books suddenly became his old friends, whom he could not abandon. And this is the last question. Yes, why were the elders of the village sitting in the classroom? As per the order from Berlin, now that French will not be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine and only German will be taught, M. Hamel announced this, and the French teacher M. Hamel had to leave after 40 years of his faithful service. The elders of the village were sitting in the last bench. They have come to pay their gratitude to this gentleman M. Hamel for his long, rather 40 years of his dedicated service to the people of Alsace and Lorraine, and therefore they were sitting there at the last bench just to attend his last lesson and express their respect and gratitude towards him. This is perhaps the last lesson. Yeah. What shows M. Hamel's love for the French language? M. Hamel had taught the French language to the people of Alsace and Lorraine for the last 40 years and was overcome with the emotion when he realized that the villagers would not be able to learn any more this their own language. He wanted them to preserve the language with them. That shows that he loved his language. Actually, in the words of M. Hamel, he believed that the natives of Alsace and Lorraine, the people who were from French origin, should preserve their language and they should love and respect their language, because in his words, one's language is one's identity. And that is the reason why in the last lesson he was little bit emotional, and he was actually trying to show the people of his own origin that they should have respected the learning of French. They should have allowed their children to learn French and keep their identity intact, because one's language is one's identity. Language of a nation is the identity of the people of that nation. So not paying attention to learning of French was quite regretful for the elders of the village, because they have not really understood the importance of learning French. And that is the reason why M. Hamel went on emphasizing that his intention was to make the people understand the importance of their own language and preserve the language with them. And that is what was reflected in his voice and his last lesson. And thus that really shows that he really loved his language French. And that is how we come to conclude this discussion. Thank you. Have a nice day.